Hello viewers and my dear students. I hope and believe that you all are okay and you are fully attentive with your study. And today I am going to discuss about English first paper for the students of class 8. Before going to discuss about English first paper, occasionally I say some important topic in front of you. And before going to discuss about English first paper, you need to be attentive about 4 wings of English: listening, speaking, reading, and writing. And you have to speak English, you have to write English, you have to listen English, you have to read English as like it's English. Okay, and most of the students are not careful about these 4 wings of English, and you must know how to write properly, how to speak properly, how to pronounce properly, how to listen properly about English. And when you talk with foreign people, and you have to know how to speak, and if anybody else speak with you, and you have to understand what he is saying to you. And when you will write something, you have to know how to write English. And when you will read something, and you have to read as like it's English. And for these are the main 4 wings of English, we have to know much more better. And okay, and let's go to board and what I'm going to discuss about with you. And today, and subject English, class 8, unit 5, lesson 4. And this chapter is a man who loves trees. Okay, now I'm going to board your text board, and you have to be careful and how you will pronounce the words of these lessons. Okay, let's watch your books, textbook. At the furthest corner of Bangladesh, there is a small village called Tarapur. In the village, there lives a man named Kartik Pramanik. He is a hairdresser by profession, but a nature lover at heart. His profession is to plant saplings, which grow into gigantic trees. He started planting trees when he was only 10 years old. He remembers what his father told once him: "My son, you can earn the blessing of God by planting trees." He never forgotten what his father told him. At present, he is 63 years old. He has planted hundreds of trees in his village. Many of the trees are now 34 to 40 years old. Once there were hardly any trees in his village. Kartik used to go to different hours for his jobs. At times he would get tired in the scorching sun, but there were no trees under which he could sit and rest for a while. Thinking how people suffer in the heat, Kartik began his tree plantation mission. Occasionally, Kartik would wake up early in the morning, take 1 or 2 laborers with him, and set out to plant trees. He would walk a long distance to plant trees, carrying with him some dry food and water. He would pay all the expenses from his own pocket. Kartik has planted trees beside the roads, around the bazaar, schools and colleges, open fields, and many other places. At times, it so happened that Kartik would go to water his plants at 10 or 11 p.m. People asked him, "Kartik, are you mad? What are you doing so late at night?" Kartik would smile and say, "What to do, sir? I have to work hard by whole day and earn money for my family. I don't get time during the day, but my trees would die if I don't water them. So I come too late at night to look after them." Even today, this old man continues planting trees, and many as he can. A man who can hardly sign his name is leaving his signature all around in nature. And this is the passage given in textbook. Okay, and you have to read these textbook once, twice, thrice, and many. Okay, and you have to read accordingly, attentively, so that you can understand every verse and every sentences meaning. And without understanding meaning, it is not quite possible to answer the all questions, answer the all multiple choice, or fill in the blanks. First, you have to read out, especially you have to pronounce every words. But first step to learn to go through your textbook, first you have to know the words, that you have to know the meaning of the words, and so you have to read out your book again and again. So yeah, I request my student to read out your text again and again, so that you can understand the whole passage, what this passage says to you, what are the main points. Okay, now I'm going to discuss some new vocabularies from this text. Okay, you see, and this is the chapter to increase your reading skill, writing skill, and listening skill, and also speaking power. And the new words you will find from this chapter: hairdresser meaning barber. Okay, hairdresser meaning barber who dress up your hair. Okay, occasionally we cut down our the hair in small shops. Some people are already have taken this profession or a hairdresser, and this is the synonym of barber. And here, profession is occupation and employment. How people earn money and how people earn their livelihoods is called profession. For an example, I am a teacher. Teaching is my profession. Okay, anybody else is farmer. Farming is his profession. So the synonym of the profession is occupation. Here, gigantic. Gigantic, the meanings of gigantic is large, very big. You need gigantic figure, I mean very big figure, gigantic trees, large trees, a huge trees. Okay, and scorching, very hard, and the heat, scorching sun is a very heatful sun. Okay, and this is occasionally, very often, and passion, desire. Okay, wish is passion, desireness, and sapling, the young plants, the small plants, the green small plants is called sapling. These are the new vocabularies. You have to understand this meaning of these vocabularies. I believe and hope that all of my students will be able to understand these new vocabularies. Thank you very much. I am now going to details about a man who loves trees. And now you see, and I have already written, I have already read out about the passage. Now, if I go through this passage personally, individually, and what will be the passage? What is the name of the village? The name of the village is Tarapur, and what is the village? Where is the village? This village is most probably here, and Tarapur, this is the Jeshore. Okay, farthest corner of Bangladesh, and called Tarapur, a small village. And who is the tree lovers? Tree lovers is Kartik Pramani. And from how many old ages he started planting trees? And when he started planting trees, when he was only 10 years old. And why he's much more fond of planting trees? Because his father advised by which he can earn the blessing of God. So he remembered his father's advice. From that, he started planting trees. And you see that how many years the old man is now. He's now in 63 years old. And how many trees he has planted? He has planted hundreds of trees. And most of the trees are now 35 to 40 years old. And trees, and which is 35 to 40 years old, it's much more higher, gigantic. This is large trees. Okay, gigantic means large trees. And once there were hardly trees in his village. Well, I mean hardly, this is negative one. Okay, there were no trees in his village, and people who are working people were working in the fields, and they had not any shelter from where they could take rest. And Kartik Pramanik felt hardly that what he could do. So he remembered his father's advice. So he started planting trees so that people can take shelter under the shade of the trees. Okay, from for the people's helpness. Okay, now occasionally Kartik Pramanik is a hairdresser. All day long, he's involved about his profession, but he has no time. He has to earn money for his livelihood. So, during the daytime, he has no time to spend time for sapling, for planting trees. And during the night time, and when he is free, and he takes some dry food and 2 or 3 levers, and at night he go for a long way for watering his plants. And some people called him mad, but Kartik Pramanik didn't mind. He smiled and just said that, okay, what can I do, sir? And because I have to work much more in the daytime, and this night time I have sometimes from when I can take care about my trees. And most of the time, for the all expenditure for tree plantation, he bears from his own pocket. But this Kartik Pramanik is an illiterate person, uneducated person, but he doesn't know to sign up his name, but he planted trees everywhere in his village, and everywhere he already signed his step with his footprint by signing the tree plantation, by doing the tree plantation. Everybody knows him as a tree lovers, and he is tree lovers by heart. Okay, this is the paraphases of the spaces. Now I am going to show you some important questions from these passages, and what are the questions. Now I am going to write the important questions in a board. Okay. Now number 1, and who is Kartik Pramanik? Okay. Why does he plant trees? Why does he look after his trees at night? Do you think he is a tree lover by heart? If yes, how? These are the main 4 important questions you may find out from these spaces. You may get any more questions, and I advise my dear students, beside 4 questions, you have to exercise from your textbook for more questions. Okay, now I am going to discuss about the answer of these 4 important questions. Who is Kartik Pramanik? Kartik Pramanik is a tree lover by heart, as well as Kartik Pramanik is a hairdresser by his profession. And why does he plant trees? He plant trees because once upon a time his father advised him to plant trees so that by planting trees he can earn the blessing of God. For he remembered his father's advice and then he started to plant trees. Yeah. And why does he look after his trees at night? He looks after his trees at night because all the day long he remains busy for earning his livelihoods. During the night time he has some free time, so he looks after his trees during the night time. And do you think he is a tree lover by heart? If yes, how? Yes, I think he is a tree lover because from his boyhood, when he was 10 years old, he started to plant trees. Now he is 63 years old, but still now he is planting trees. And all the expenditure of tree plantation he bears from his own pocket. So I can say that he is a tree lover by heart. And these are the important questions from this chapter. You can find out the fill in the blanks. Now I'm going to discuss about some fill in the blanks. And you may find some fill in the blanks number 3 questions in your question paper, and what might be it is. Okay, and so it is a village of Bangladesh where a tree dash lives. His name is Kartik Poramanik. He is a tree lover by dash. He started to dash trees from his childhood. He bears all the dash from his dash pocket. And this is an example of fill in the blanks. You may find out many fill in the blanks as this. So, and before going to discuss about filling the blanks, I want to advise my students that you have to keep a clear opinion. You have to need a clear idea about the topic without remaining a clear idea about the passage. It is not quite possible to fill in the blanks, okay? When these fill in the blanks will not set up in your question paper as from your textbook. The meaning will be same, but sentence will not be same. So you have to take that clear idea from these spaces. Now go to about how you will fill in the blanks. It is a village of Bangladesh where a tree lover lives. His name is Kartik Poramanik. He is a tree lover by heart. He started to plant trees from his childhood. He bears all the expenses. EXPENDITURE. He bears all the expenditure from his own pocket. And this is this is an example of fill in the blanks. And today I have discussed about a man who loves trees from your textbook for the students of class 8. I hope and believe all of my students have already understood what I have discussed to you. I also request to go through your books, textbook at your home. Thank you very much.